Hi everyone, sorry about that. So arrange your meeting with the support with your person and ask them if they would like a support person to come along. That they are allowed to have somebody if they feel they need it. Tell them beforehand what the meeting is going to be about. Don't make a surprise out of it. So you might just let them know that you want to have a chat about a particular issue. When you have the conversation, you set down the meeting time, make it a time when it's not a busy period at work, so that the other person isn't feeling rushed. You need to provide some evidence of the unsatisfactory behaviour. So don't just say, oh, so-and-so said blah, blah, blah. You need to actually provide particular examples of when something happened, and it's better if it's something you've witnessed yourself rather than just hearsay, because obviously people gossip and things like that. So one thing that you should do is ensure that they have a thorough understanding of their expectations. So you could go through their position description, talk about any areas where they aren't performing, and then that will help you identify skills gaps, and you'll be able to arrange training as per the training and development procedure. Now, it is important to remember that often if you've got a staff member that has always performed and then there is a period where they're not performing, that this could be because of something going on outside of work. So if they've had any personal issues going on at home, they may have lost a family member or gone through something terrible. So it's a good idea to first of all explore that option, see if they want to give you any information about that, and then don't forget you've got the Employee Assistance Program, which can organise training, some professional support for that person. That may be something that you need to instigate as part of the performance management. So you make sure that you document the discussion. Everything that you say and do basically needs to be written down as a record, because in the future, if it goes through further processes, then we need to have a record of that. Now, once you've gone through this conversation, you might give them, say, a month or something like that to improve. And then at the end of that time, you can determine whether they have met the expectations, in which case you would end the process and just put a letter on their file, or if not, you'd need to initiate stage 2. So if you have a look on here, you would advise the staff member that stage 2 has now been initiated. Then you would provide the staff member examples again and give them opportunity to respond. So they may not be able to respond on the spot. They may need to. You might give them the opportunity to respond, and then you may actually need to go back and investigate those their responses. So have a look at some work that they may have done, etc. If the response is unsatisfactory, you can implement. This is when you would implement the performance management plan, and advise the staff member that failure to comply would then lead to disciplinary action. So again, documenting the discussion, provide performance improvement plan back to the staff member, which you do up after you've had the meeting with them and you've agreed on what needs to be improved. Both parties need to sign that document, and then you would set up your review period. So you may give them another month or so to bring their work up to scratch. And if satisfactory, the letter is put on the HR file, and if unsatisfactory, you then go to your written warning. Once the written warnings have been provided and there's no improvement, you are then able to advise the staff member that you're recommending them termination, and give them the opportunity to respond again. This is all these opportunities to respond is basically called natural justice, where you give the staff member a right of reply. And if not, if no further remedies can be done, then you would terminate in line with the Fair Work Act and other legislation. And I would recommend, if you were wanting to go down that track, then you would contact HR, and we'll go through that with you to make sure that everything's being met. If you have a look at handout number 2, this is how to count. Oh, sorry, forgot to ask if anybody had any questions.
Yeah, how do we document the discussion?
Okay, that's a good question. You can, if you want to, you could ask the staff member if they wanted someone to minute the meeting that you were having with them. If not, I would just go back and write thorough notes, do up a memo, and then save that into the human resources information system, or bring it to us and we will do that for you.
Thank you.
Okay, so how to conduct ongoing monitoring of performance management. Now, as I said, we've got all of the... sorry about that. Just on our second handout now, which is how to counsel and discipline employees who continue to perform below standards. So the counselling of employees who continue to perform will vary depending on the severity of the performance management issues. If you've got very severe ones, obviously, then we're going to have to act more swiftly. But once the stage 1 performance management process has been initiated and you've arranged for you raised your concerns with the staff member, ensure that they have a understanding of their roles and expectations, identify the skills gaps, further training. So the basically what you need to do is schedule regular follow-up meetings, so you can discuss how that employee is going. They know if they're on the right track or if they need to keep